Hello everybody! I am going to be doing a little vlog this next 24-hour period for the Dewey's Reversereadathon. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so that is 5 p.m. Pacific Time for me. I'm actually having people for dinner tonight, so I won't be starting at 5. I'll be starting this evening. And I just wanted to share with you the books that I'm going to be reading in this 24-hour period. So I am halfway through Crow by Amy Spurway. This is a debut novel in 2019. This book is really something different that I have not read before. There's a real rawness to it, a real level of skepticism, and I don't really want to give too much away about the plot because I think it might be better if you don't know, but it's definitely dealing with some serious issues, and it's got a very cynical view of the world. So if you're not in the mood for reading something like that, then maybe this wouldn't be up your bag. But I'm really enjoying the uniqueness of the voice. There's a few things about it that I find a little bit tedious, but I think that when you're talking about a debut, that's probably going to be part of it regardless. So I would recommend this so far, and I'm hoping to finish this in the next 24 hours. That would be great. I was hoping to get it done for July, but that didn't happen. So, you know, the first few days of August will be good. I'm going to be starting Vandana Shiva's Earth Democracy. This is a non-fiction book. This is an older book, but it's kind of a manifesto for achieving a level of environmental and social and economic justice for developing countries, and Vandana Shiva is a wonderful activist. So this is a book that I've had on my TBR for many years, and I decided to go to the very back of my library TBR list to start taking some of the older books and start reading them and getting them off my list. So that's why I picked this one. And I think it'll be nice to contrast the novel with a little bit of nonfiction. And the other book that I will be potentially reading is the audiobook I'm listening to, which is The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan. Didion. About an hour in, and it's a 5-hour audiobook. So if I go for a walk or anything, that's what I will be listening to. Also very heavy themes. So Crow and The Year of Magical Thinking are kind of overlapping a little bit. A memoir and a novel handling some of the sort of the same themes. But again, I don't want to get into too many spoilers about Crow. And yeah, I'll be checking in periodically. And thanks for reading along with me. Hi everybody. I think it is about halfway through Dewey's 24-hour Reversereadathon, and I have read for about, I'm hoping it's getting close to 3 hours, so obviously not anywhere near 24, but I didn't really expect to have read, to read that much anyway because of my life, how it goes, but I just wanted to update you. So very close to finishing Crow. I have about 60 pages left. This is a fantastic book. This could be easily made into a movie or a TV show. It has a lot of personality. It has a lot of warmth to it. It's got a kind of gritty, rough language that really has also captured a level of beauty in the kind of small town connections that people make and they don't even acknowledge, especially when they've moved away and have come back and they don't understand their own impact on people. There's so many wonderful themes. So it's actually brought me to tears a couple times, not crying outright, but just moved me to tears because of little simple beautiful passages in here. So it's really great. Just started Earth Democracy by Vandana Shiva. Just read the introduction. Going to be obviously very powerful, full of some wonderful themes. Basically, she's outlining in this book a different way that humans could be in the world if we all agreed that there are just some things that are fundamental to being human that we all need to have the right to in terms of justice for humans. So really wonderful. I'm about to go for a walk. It's supposed to be very warm here in on the west coast of Canada for the next few days, getting up into the high 20s degrees Celsius and into the 30s. So it's always best to get out earlier in the day rather than later and get some fresh air. So I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to listen to The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion while I am walking. I'm also going to play a bit of basketball with my family, and I will show you some footage of walking around. I'm trying to really settle into summer because our July was very busy here. I didn't really feel like it was summer and that I was enjoying the summer and enjoying the sun and enjoying walking and just being in nature for summer. So I'm going to take this opportunity when I'm taking a little walk to really do that, to really get into summer, integrate in, and try to enjoy the summer vibes. So I'll take you along with me, show you some footage, and I will check in again probably near the end of the day and give you an update on, or my final stats on how much I ended up reading today. Okay, bye. I think I'm going to call it a day on my Dewey's readathon for August 2019. I think I probably read about 4 to 5 hours in this period, which is less than last time, but I had other things to do, so I'm actually really pleased with the results. I finished Crow by Amy Spurway, This is a great story. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars initially on my review, and that might go up to 5. I don't know. I think that, you know, for me, for my personal reading taste, there were things in here that I wouldn't have done. But the overall story, the overall messages that were shared were just really fulfilling. This is a story about second chances. It's a story about, you know, being able to truly see who you are, where you come from in a different light, and not reducing things to their, you know, their lowest common denominator all the time, and letting the people who love you love you. There's stuff about death in here. It's got a lot of crude language, so if you're not interested in crude language, then maybe don't read it. But overall, I really enjoyed that. I got well into the first chapter, so I read the introduction and the first chapter of Earth Democracy by Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva is just a highly intelligent woman with very eloquent writing style. So this book is creating a new framework. Earth Democracy is kind of her foundations for creating a world in which people will be treated with respect and dignity, and justice will prevail over corporate greed and political posturing. So, so far, really enjoying this. I will keep reading it over the rest of August. And the thing about this type of nonfiction for me is I can't really read it in one sitting. It's not... I find my brain starts shutting down after a couple hours, and I can't absorb the information that I'm reading. So I have to take nonfiction in kind of smaller bursts. And I want to be able to read it and really like absorb what's being read. I've marked quite a few pages for quotes that I'd like to write down into my notebooks to keep for future reference. So it's a really it's a good book if you're interested in the themes of kind of the history of colonial oppression and how societies used to be constructed and how they could be constructed now in order for people to be equal and to have a sense of justice and their own self-governance in general, instead of corporations and big government ruling everyone. And for Joan Didion's The Year of Magical Thinking, I'm at 41% now, so I think I listened to about 3 chapters today. Again, really powerful story. I think most people are aware, but in case you're not, Joan, this is about the year after she lost her husband, and she goes into details about how they died, how it impacted her, and she does research on grief and, you know, survivors and how they feel and the stages they go through and how she was affected personally by this time. So very powerful, but she writes in a very matter-of-fact way. I really enjoy her writing. I previously read Play It As It Lays this year, so this is my second Joan Didion book of the year. And I think her nonfiction is very similar to her fictional writing style. She's not a wordy person. She doesn't put extra words in there. You know, she's very to the point and succinct. And the narrator is doing a great job of pulling me into the story. There's also some music in the audiobook, which I found a bit distracting at first. I wasn't expecting to have these little piano musical interludes at the end of some chapters and not others. I'm not sure why they chose to do them at some places and not others, but yeah. So in case you're listening and wondering, and like I did. So yeah, another Dewey's readathon completed. I really enjoyed doing the one I did in April. August is in the books, and I think there might be one more before the end of the year. I find these little readathons very fun because they are quick and you can kind of try to get a whole bunch of reading in a really short time, but you don't have to try to map out a whole week or a whole month of reading. You just need to try to plan your next day of reading, which in my case, when you have a busy family or when you have a busy life and you just happen to have a day where you haven't planned anything and it happens to fall in the same time as the Deweys, is really fun and really encouraging. It keeps you motivated to keep reading. So thanks so much for watching, and I will be back again soon with another bookish video.